What's going on, guys? Danny here from Metal Couch, and after a slew of track reviews, it's time that I get back into the swing of things by reviewing a full length, and boy do I have a treat for you today. Today we are going to be taking a look at Obliteration's Black Death Horizon, which was released about November 2013, pretty late in the year, and wow. Where do I even start with this album? Other than it was recommended that I review this album by a friend, and he's like, yeah, check this out since, you haven't really done a review in a while. Why don't you have a look at this and tell me what you think? And this album is... I don't really know where to begin. I guess we can start with the production. I think that's a good place to start. This album has a very old school death metal feel to it, something that I really enjoy. I like it when newer bands try to go back and have the production values of something, say, in the late 80s, early 90s, in this particular case. It sounds really good, it sounds organic, great production value here on Black Death Horizon. Going into the tracks, though, and this is what threw me off at first, my friend told me that this was death metal, and the first track, if you've heard this album before, is about 3.5 minutes of what sounds like doom metal. And for a second, I almost thought that he gave me the wrong album, but then, once you hit that 3.5 minute mark on the first track, it just speeds up out of nowhere. It just takes off and takes you on a ride, and you cannot get off of this train. You are here, and it's going to take you places. I really, really like how this album opens up. I like how unexpected on The Distant Sun that it just goes right into the death metal that I was promised. Going even further into the album, the second track, which is probably one of my favorites off of the album, Goat Skull Crown, it doesn't try to do anything like that. It just takes you right into the fast-paced death metal sound that I'm kind of used to at this point. Other tracks, such as Transient Paradise, and even the title track, which I think is the 6th track on the album, the title track, even though they are good songs, I think that they're not necessarily out of place. They're just not as good as, say, Goat Skull Crown or Ascendance, which is track 4. So it's kind of a mixed bag what you're getting here. But all of the material is really, really good. Again, like I mentioned, some of my favorite tracks are Goat Skull Crown and Ascendance. And then, while I was listening to it, my friend had messaged me and asked me what I was thinking of the album so far. And I told him that it was relatively positive, and he said that he really wanted me to listen to the instrumental outro track, Churning Magma. I now know what he meant. Churning Magma is... don't get me wrong, it is a really, really good track, but I feel that it's slightly out of place. It's sort of a departure from everything that was established with the album, but at the same time, it fits with closing the album. It has a very... it's very dark, it doesn't really fit in the realm of death metal. But it's really, really good. Probably the most memorable track on this album is the outro track. I really, really enjoyed it, and I see why my friend particularly enjoys it. It's really good. The album overall clocks in at about 42 minutes, so you get a decent amount of material here. Some of the songs run over 7 minutes, over 6 minutes, and you have a few like the instrumental, which clocks in a little under 4 minutes. So, you get a decent amount of material here. As far as this as a complete product goes, if I had to give it a grade out of 10, I would probably give it a 9. Very, very good 9. I don't recommend that you download this album. In fact, I recommend that you go out and you buy this album. Definitely support this band. I know I'm definitely going to buy a physical copy of this. It really is worth your money, and I would love to see more material come out from this band in the future. In fact, with only 3 full lengths and an album that came out, and this album coming out in November of 2013, it's a wonder how they passed underneath my radar, because this kind of stuff is right up my alley. And after some of the past track reviews, I definitely had to have a palate cleanser to get me back into the game. So a 9 out of 10 for me. Danny here from Metal Couch, signing out.
Down the wall!